Welcome to the Epic Man Podcast, the show where we let our curiosities and theories run wild and sometimes talk entertainment news. I'm Josiah, and with me, my two friends and co-hosts, Ben and Mike. The glorious return of Michael. How are you guys doing today?
Now it looks like Michael's doing
I'm doing so good. It was a rough week.
Good. It was a rough week for you, man.
It was kind of like Ben's 2020, but not that rough because nothing gets that rough.
Yeah, that's intense. That is intense.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot for him.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm doing good. I'm back in the saddle again. We're ready to go. I missed you guys. Had to listen to Ben finally slip in his little giant sloth thing last week, and nobody was able to stop him. And now I'm here to stop him.
Good. I hope so.
That's what I'm here for. That's my whole existence is stopping Ben from unleashing his giant sloth on the world.
Yeah, true.
You don't want me to unleash that, baby.
Oh my.
The world's not ready for it.
Yeah, sure. So so we have a lot to talk about this week, guys. A lot. I thought that the first thing that we could talk about is some of the stuff that came out this week as far as the Mortal Kombat trailer goes. So I honestly I was pleasantly surprised by the trailer. I really was. I honestly thought it was going to be pretty crappy because pretty much every video game adaptation movie is, but it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good.
It looks really solid, and the cast they've got is really, really, really good.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, yeah, I haven't played a lot of the Mortal Kombat games. I think I played some of the newer ones. So I don't have that much background in the game, but the trailer looked cool and it looked fun.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
what I'm here for. Did you see the first movie, Ben?
I did. I watched that and Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
That movie doesn't exist.
No, Annihilation was a mistake.
Yeah, that movie doesn't exist. It doesn't count.
It literally was so bad.
Yeah, that movie doesn't count.
To be fair, it looks better than that. And if it's better than that, then well, that's already a victory a small victory in some
True.
ways. So
True.
So, I might have a little bit of a hot take though.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right.
So I'm excited, and I thought it looked really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the aesthetics and some of the actors, to me personally, looked a little fan service, fan made.
Mm.
Gotcha. I think
so
Sub-Zero looks legit.
Fan made.
Like Sub-Zero looks legit.
costumes?
Oh my God, Ben. I gotta get the thought out.
All right.
You gotta let me get there. I promise.
I can't.
I promise I'll let you get there. It's just a slow buildup. You got to take time. You got to ease it in. You can't.
So what you mean by this, Mike?
What was your childhood like? No. So I thought that Sub-Zero looks amazing. The guy that they cast as Scorpion, that was one of my favorite casting choices. I'm like, that dude is legit.
Yeah.
I forgot his name now, even though I just was literally reading about him just a second ago. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. But the guy that plays Kano, I don't know, his costume kind of looked like a fan made movie. He was just hey, it's me, Kano, and his accent to me, personally sounded almost too Australian. That I don't know. That's just me. Some of it was exciting, but then also, I wasn't a huge fan of the idea that they just have some random character. They're here's Cole, and you're who's Cole? And they're he's the new soldier guy that's gonna be in the tournament.
The main character.
And then Liu Kang, who is arguably the main character of the franchise, he's oh, I'm here too. It's kind of an afterthought. But that's just, that's just me. Well, I don't want to be super nitpicky, but I watched Mortal Kombat Legacy, and if you guys haven't watched Mortal Kombat Legacy, it's on Machinima.
An animation?
No. It's an anthology set. This guy, I don't remember his last name now. He was a director. He did web series, mini web series about the Mortal Kombat franchise. And he rebooted the franchise with this web series. He was hoping to get a movie made, and they were no, we're not going to do that. His aesthetic and everything that he chose to do with that setting, I thought was awesome, and I was hoping they were going to adapt that. And it kind of looks like they went the route of like took some of the aesthetic there, but then also mixed it with their own. I don't know. So I'm excited, but I'm also hesitant and concerned. But I like, I don't know, if you haven't had a chance to watch it, or if you ever have a chance to check it out, check out Mortal Kombat Legacy. I thought it was a really really interesting take. Also, the guy that plays Raiden, like, it has nothing to do with him being an Asian guy. I have a picture in my head of what Raiden's supposed to look like, and he did not look like Raiden to me. He just looked like a dude with a hat, and I'm like, the hat is not the thing that makes Raiden. So
I
think. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Ben. It's fine now. I got it all out. It's good.
Well, no, I did want to point out that the guy who plays what's his face, the Australian dude. I don't remember his name. Sorry, I'm not a Mortal Kombat fan. Please. He actually is from Australia. So.
Okay.
So his accent very real. It's not fake.
Very, very,
very real.
Authentic.
Also, the actor's name
maybe too authentic. Maybe too real.
Plays Sub-Zero as Jota Slim.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But
I've never seen him in anything, but he looks really good. Actually, he looked like he was right out of the video game. So
they should have got Travis Fimmel to play him because he's Australian and he's a badass.
To play the
Kano.
Kano.
Yeah.
I mean,
that would have been sick.
Would have been sick, but Josh Lawson, who does play him in the movie, give him a chance, right? I mean,
he's.
I mean,
then it's not the authenticity of the accent; it's the it just felt like he was hamming it up a little bit more than everybody else.
So it was his line delivery, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So his acting was the problem.
Yeah, and his costume looks like garbage.
Travis Fimmel would have done great.
Travis Fimmel's.
I did like that it looks like he's doing his actual finisher, like with the heart. Crushes the heart in his hand.
Yeah. I think they're doing using a lot of their finishers and stuff in the movie from what I heard. Which will
be awesome.
Which will be super cool. I'm very excited for that. I don't know. I'm not like a huge Mortal Kombat person to begin with. Like, I've played a little bit of the games, but not like a whole ton because I'm just not really into fighting games for the most part and stuff. But as just like a, I guess kind of from an objective standpoint, just because I don't really have any sort of subjective opinion on it, it looks pretty cool. I think that it's just going to be, I hope that they just really go the way of like Sonic the Hedgehog or something and just try to make it a movie for the fans and something that the fans will love, so that's all I really hope for. And if that's the case, then I probably will enjoy it for what it is, because I do think of the overall world and characters of Mortal Kombat are pretty cool. So
yeah. Also, the name of the actor for Scorpion, I'm gonna butcher his name, and I'm really sorry. Hiroyuki Sanada. But he's been in like a bunch of stuff, like a ton of stuff in Japan. But actually, like, once you start reading some of his actual, like, he was in the Wolverine, he's in 47 Ronin, right? He was in Avengers Endgame. He was the guy that got killed by Hawkeye, that like fought him in the street. He's in a bunch of stuff. Apparently he's in Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead coming up as well. Really? He's been in a lot of stuff. He's actually, like, I think he's a really cool dude. Apparently he was in Westworld as well.
Okay.
So he's been around, and I'm glad that he's getting like a bigger role. Scorpion's like one of the most popular characters, so I'm kind of excited to see that. But,
that'll be sweet. And I don't know, it just had kind of a comic booky vibe to it a little bit, and I kind of dug that. So
absolutely, I was totally down for that.
I think I think it should be enjoyable. Like, there's few movies that I'm like, throw in all the blood, the gore, and everything else, because that's gonna make the movie better. This is one of those movies where it genuinely will make the movie better, because it will be like the video game. Like, if they obviously in the older movies, like, they were PG-13, they couldn't really mess around with that too much. They couldn't make it really over the top and stylized, kind of like the game is. But I think that it looks at least like they're going for that in this. And so I think that's really fun. I was like, you can't make a Mortal Kombat movie and not have like all the crazy fatalities and ridiculously over the top.
The more exploding skulls and brains I see, the better. So
Yeah.
And that one shot from the trailer where Sub-Zero like slices Scorpion and then grabs the blood knife.
Yeah,
like
dude.
turns the blood into a knife was so cool.
That was so cool, dude.
Awesome.
I love that.
Was legit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty excited about it.
And the action looks awesome, and I think that honestly that's what most people are there for. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
As long as they get that right, then it can't be horrible. As long as the action scenes are at least fun to watch.
Exactly.
And they've got a good cast too. I don't think any of these actors are bad actors. So I think that helps. But
Kano didn't look too great. That's
all right. Well, besides Kano.
Yeah. I mean, if Travis Fimmel was playing him, it probably would be a lot better. But it's.
Well, why don't you write a kindly worded note to Warner Brothers, and maybe they'll change it. Maybe they'll take
Warner Brothers.
Maybe they'll take him out like they did with or like that one company did with All the Money in the World, and they'll just like insert a totally different actor in there. They'll just like reshoot all his scenes. It's like, here, it's Travis Fimmel.
Oh man,
and waste millions of dollars, and waste one completely fine actor's time.
I don't know. Speaking of Travis Fimmel, have you guys seen Raised by Wolves yet?
No, I still need to watch it.
So good, dude.
Of watching.
So good.
I'm assigned. You know me. I still haven't gotten around to watching it.
Yeah. So. Have either of you seen the Monster Hunter movie that came out?
No,
Speaking of video game adaptation movies,
I want to.
I heard it was awful.
But
I heard it was bad. Yeah.
I've heard it's bad, but I don't know. I kind of want to just because I want to see what they do with it. I mean,
now I don't know, I don't know a whole ton about like the world of Monster Hunter, the story or anything, but I don't think that in the video game it's like a bunch of military people that are like.
No, so I do know.
Isn't it more fantastical?
That's what I thought. Yeah,
it's like a fantasy world. But from what I understand of the movie, that trailer was like the first 5 minutes of the movie. Like apparently they end up in the other world and they do monster hunting in the other world and stuff. And it's supposed to be a little bit more faithful, but they like the director even later was like, yeah. If you watch the movie, like it's not all just military stuff. We kind of screwed up on that one. Yeah. But I'm like, well, you probably should have thought about that before you released the trailer.
Exactly.
It makes it look like you guys did nothing with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I heard it was terrible, so I just didn't take the time to watch it.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
yep.
I've seen too many disappointing video game movies.
Everybody's wrong once in a while, but it's okay.
Video game adaptations are definitely still in a weird place, but hopefully Mortal Kombat will be good. So
it'll be nice.
Sonic was really fun, and I really liked it. And I'm excited for Sonic 2, and I just hope that they kind of go in that direction.
Yeah. Yep.
Watch them like come out with Sonic 2, and they redesign Sonic though, and he's bad again. And they're just like, we understand.
Do that just to make fans angry with them.
Yeah, and then they're like, we'll fix it. And you're like, no, that only works once. You can't keep doing that.
What if they did that just to get motivation from people being mad at them?
Yeah, right.
So we need something to motivate us to make a better movie.
Yeah.
Like, guys, don't worry, we got you.
Yeah, it's like, we got you. We got this in the bag. Really Let's go.
Yeah, I like I said, I just as a summary, I am excited for Mortal Kombat. I'd rather have decent Mortal Kombat with some things I didn't like than have just Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Or them try to be like a gritty reboot with like no magic, like Sub-Zero doesn't really have Sub-Zero powers or whatever.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, because like I'm so over that kind of thing where they're just like, hey, by the way, we don't even have. It's like no,
or it's just like a dream at the end or some stupid crap like that.
Yeah, where it's like
actually Sub-Zero was dead the entire time.
Yeah, or
it was like all in his head.
Yeah, he's just dreaming the whole time.
It was all Scorpion's vivid nightmare.
Oh man, I hate it when they do that in movies so much.
Yeah, that stuff is so dumb.
Like
it feels like a cop out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, like the one cool thing about, and I'll get off of this train after a little bit because this isn't my hill to die on, but the web series that I watched, one of the cool things is they try to do grounded in realism, and one of the things for Raiden is like the whole concept is that he thinks he's Raiden, and like you see him arrive, he actually like crash lands in like an insane asylum. and so they think he's a patient, and they're like trying to lobotomize him the whole time,
Mhm.
and he keeps telling them that he's not. He's Raiden, and so they think he's obviously crazy, and like
Mhm.
he's trying to escape from there, and it's kind of legit because after a while you start to wonder if like maybe this dude like really is crazy, and maybe like
Yeah.
they just did a really good job of like that kind of grounded.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know?
mind it when people do stuff like that, where it's kind of like you're trying to like figure out the story as it goes and stuff, and like,
Yeah.
is he crazy? Is he not crazy?
Yeah.
But when they do the whole like just really cheap cop out of like having
Yeah.
just for like a really cheap twist at the end of the movie, just be
Yeah.
like, oh, it was all a dream. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Or oh, none of this is
no.
real. You're like,
Like
"Please
it's different to keep you guessing
Yeah.
at a main character's motives or like everything about them throughout the movie. Like I think a really good example of that is actually Blade Runner 2049, where they keep you guessing about the main character and the storyline surrounding the main character throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
But the reveals towards the end don't feel cheap. They feel earned, and they are actually are good twists that you
Mhm.
don't necessarily see
Are you
coming.
about to spoil Blade Runner 2049?
No, no, that's why I'm
No,
not.
no, no.
That's
It's
why I'm
okay.
not
Just
going
go
into
ahead and
details.
spoil the ending,
But,
Ben. It's fine.
No, but it is.
Go ahead and tell
very
everybody
good.
what the ending is, Ben.
No, Mike. I will not
Tell
be
it-
pressured into spoiling things. So, yeah.
So, speaking of Sub-Zero,
Oh,
Texas is
Oh.
kind of in an interesting place right now.
dude. Like, seriously, much love to Texas because,
It's been pretty crazy, man.
dude, that's rough. Like,
Yeah.
so part of the rough week I had was my pipes being frozen all week, and trying to get those unfrozen and dealing with all of that. And yeah, so my heart goes out to people that have no tools whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, they're like-
that's crazy.
I mean,
So
there's
there's oh, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, no. I mean, it's got like what pipes bursting, power outages. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
people with like
Yeah.
no water, no power. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a famous well he's like a pretty popular like streamer that I follow called Noah J456, and he's
Oh, yeah.
from Texas, and he's been kind of posting some updates about it. They've like had like their house has been like 45 degrees like all week and stuff, and they've
Jeez.
been like having to like try to go out to get things that they need and stuff,
And like
And
grocery
you know
stores
that-
are completely empty and stuff.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
everybody's doing the same thing, or they don't have power, and
Or
yeah,
they
Mhm.
can't drive because it's like ice rinks on the road.
yeah, and
So-
some like they can't even get food. Like semi trucks can't even bring food to some of the places and stuff
Right.
too, and so it's like yeah, like it's
It's like a-
crazy.
It's like a weirdly apocalyptic
Yeah,
yeah,
thing, like situation there. And like this
Yeah.
is something that like we've never seen before in our generation.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't think something like this has happened since maybe like the 50s, I think is what I was reading is something. along
yeah.
those lines.
It was like almost 100 years ago, I think, the last
Yeah.
time that they had something like this in
Wild.
Texas. So yeah,
And it's like it's not even just like Texas has been hit the worst for sure, but like it's like the entire south
yeah,
half of the states.
yeah,
It's,
Yeah.
it's just wild.
yeah. I'm looking at some of the pictures right now of Texas, and it's just like wow, like you literally have never seen Texas like this ever. It's just crazy.
Yeah, like,
Like-
it's literally wild.
yeah.
There's like ice over everything, and
I
Yeah,
saw a
I-
picture.
I have some family in Texas, and yeah, they were posting pictures of it. And originally, like, I was like, "Ha, that's kind of funny," you know, because
yeah,
I'm like, "Oh, welcome to like Michigan
yeah,
weather."
yeah,
And
right.
then like it just kept going on and going on.
Yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
okay, well
like,
now it's not funny. Now it's just sad. And not
Right. Well, I
Well,
mean, like they aren't prepared for it as a
Mhm.
state.
Yeah, exactly.
For
Yeah,
for anything like this, and like you know, and that's on some people, but like for the most part, that's not really supposed to happen without at least that not normally.
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's an unprecedented event. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy, and like there's a lot of
Yeah.
people who are really struggling for sure, and that just sucks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, ugh. Like I also have family in Texas. I don't know how badly it's
Yeah.
affected them specifically. I know there
Ben
are
doesn't
some
have
people
family
with
in
power,
Texas.
but yeah, I mean, like the
I have
amount of
family
people
in
without
Texas.
power. Like I saw like a map.
Not Ben has family in Texas.
I saw like a map showing like power outages, and it was like almost the entire
Yeah.
the entire state.
Well, like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
the map,
Wild.
like, of the United States right now, it was like all but like California and like Florida area is just under like
Yeah.
no. I was like,
Right.
this is nuts. Like that's
Mhm.
that's unprecedented. That's so yeah, it's just crazy to see like that kind of like a weather phenomenon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaking wild, dude.
It is
Yeah,
friggin' wild.
freaking wild.
Friggin' wild.
Like here in Michigan, like we get that all the time, but the difference is we're prepared for it, and our state
Yeah.
literally is, you know, like that's something we deal with every year. Is
Yeah.
some sort of crazy winter event. That's
Yeah.
you know, that's obviously something we deal with every year. So it's a totally different situation.
Yeah.
So like, but I've seen so many people like who are like, oh, it's it's just snow or whatever, like get over it. And
I'm like, no, you guys don't understand
I was
snow
like,
then.
these people don't have water.
Yeah.
They're struggling to find food. They don't have power, all because, like because of that snow in a place where it doesn't normally hit like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, it's just snow, but either last year or the year before last, we had a situation where it was for almost like 2 weeks straight. It was like negative 20 degrees.
yeah.
And we know what it's like to be in snow. And
Yeah.
that was insane. Like everybody was
Mhm.
having trouble,
Mhm.
I mean,
That's in Michigan where it's like we're used to it.
yeah, like they
Mhm.
couldn't even go to school because the kids couldn't wait for the buses because it was so cold. It
Yeah.
was like 15 minutes and you start risking frostbite.
Right.
So, here we are in that situation. And then you go a place that's never had any kind of snow and they're not just getting like an inch of snow and everybody's like, oh my
Right.
gosh. I mean, they're getting a lot of snow
Yeah.
and have no way of dealing with that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I mean, they have snow as far as Mexico. What do you do
Mhm.
then? When you start getting snow in Mexico, it's over.
Yeah.
And I think they literally put out like orders not to drive because of the unsafe road conditions. A lot of people down south who maybe haven't dealt with cold weather don't know how to drive in the snow. Or,
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I have a
yeah.
buddy who lives in Kentucky and they were like, oh my gosh, you're going to work? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, how do you do it on the roads? And they were like, I slow down.
Yeah.
I just drive slower
Yeah.
and you'll get places safer. And they're like, that's so crazy and so brave of you. And they were like, I'm from Michigan, so no, it's not that crazy.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I got
It's something we deal with all the time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. It's just funny.
Yeah.
It's funny how you're like, and we really aren't that far apart from each other either, and we have such different perspectives about that type of stuff. It's just
Yeah.
really crazy.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah,
you
but
wonder like what would happen if like if like we went into another ice age. Like it'd
Have
be
you guys
nuts.
seen the
Oof.
is it the day
After Tomorrow?
Is
Yeah.
that the one where the entire world freezes over?
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal's in it.
Yeah.
Dude, Jake
that-
Gyllenhaal's great.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I mean he is great.
Yeah.
Oh, but remember, Mike doesn't like Jake Gyllenhaal. I think
think
we
he's
talked
kind of a
about that one
schmuck.
time. Yeah.
Oh my.
He's
Oh
great.
my.
He is
I
great.
think he's a bit of a schmuck.
Michael.
Michael,
What are we gonna do about you, Michael? No, literally though, that like
not
that,
make me watch Jake Gyllenhaal movies.
No, the
That's what I
movie
was
you need to
thinking
watch
about.
is Enemy. You need to watch
Yes.
Enemy, Mike. Please.
And
Please.
if you don't want to watch
Please.
Enemy, at least watch Prisoners.
I have to watch Raised by Wolves. I'm busy right now.
No, please watch Enemy. Please.
I am too busy watching all these other shows.
Enemy is another great example of where you're kept guessing throughout the entire movie of what
And
who
then
the character actually is and stuff.
All
And
your
Why? Because
expect-
he's such a bad actor. He can't.
Oh
no,
my gosh.
like all your expectations are subverted at the end of that one too. Like
I don't want my
insane.
expectations subverted, Ben.
Oh,
Maybe you
it's
like
so
that
good.
kind of stuff.
I do.
Dude, that's
yeah.
your
I
kind
love
of kink. Is Ben's like,
Love it.
man, I can't wait to have my expectations subverted.
I like
I
them
can't wait.
subverted, but not in cheap ways, Mike.
You mean
Like
like
there-
in
Last Jedi?
The Last Jedi?
Okay, well, there's ways to
Wait a minute.
Wait.
Wait a minute.
hold on a second. Hold on
He
a
said,
second.
hold on a second.
Hold on a second. It was actually all a dream, but it was Yoda having that dream, and he's still alive.
Who's Yoda?
Oh wait.
Who's
Oh,
this
yeah.
Yoda you speak of?
I don't know who is that. Right, exactly. So
Anyways, so
watch
yeah,
Enemy.
day after tomorrow. I haven't.
yes,
I actually haven't. I don't think I've ever even seen that movie.
really.
I don't think
I
so.
haven't.
Watch. That was the minute I saw all this craziness going on. That was the first thing I thought of.
Yeah.
I can tell
It's
you
like
right
the
now.
entire
Like,
world freezes over. There's like
Yeah.
crazy
Mhm.
like crazy amounts of snowfall. There's like extreme negative temperatures, and people are like freezing in the streets in like moments, and it's like it's wild.
It's bad. Yeah, it'd be bad. It'd be really
Yeah.
bad. Obviously, it probably wouldn't happen quite as like dramatically as Day After Tomorrow if it
Right.
happened. But yeah,
right.
but
that's like literally an apocalyptic situation where like people
Yeah.
are like humanity's fate is in the balance. Like it's
yeah,
Well-
but it'd be like it would dramatically change everything so fast. Like if
and well, the scary thing is too, for people like us in places like Michigan or places that are cold. I mean, we probably would be one of the least hard affected because we have the lake and stuff, but we don't realize how like awesome the lake is for us. But I mean, shoot, you look over in New York and like that side of the state, they get like, feet of snow, or where like North Dakota and stuff, they get like 4 or 5 feet of snow. We don't get any of that here.
Dude, the lake is literally like a protective barrier.
Yeah,
The Great
exactly.
Lakes are. They're literally like protective barriers.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's weird even like
every time Ben says protective barriers.
It's weird even like
I love you, Ben.
with like how like Ben lives only like 45 minutes away from where I live, but he lives further away from the lake than I do. So like a lot of the times he gets snow even worse than we get snow here, which is just so weird because he lives not that far away. So it's just funny.
What is interesting too is like in the wintertime, in the summertime, we get like warm weather. I mean, it gets warm here sometimes. We've gotten like 90s and stuff.
It lasts for like a month though.
Where Ben's at, it'll get like 10 degrees hotter.
Yeah.
Just because he's not right next to the lake, and I'm like, oh,
right. It's so much cool. It's like a whole 10 degrees cooler on the lake.
Yeah, it's just really interesting.
The great thing too is that we have a lake without salt in it. Like, you go swimming and it doesn't taste like salt. For all those people that are like, wow, the ocean's so great.
The ocean's great, man.
The ocean, so great.
Yeah, it's so great. Don't drink the water; you can die.
There's sharks. Swim in the ocean to drink
There's sharks.
The water.
There's jellyfish.
There
are things in it that want to kill you.
Amazing creatures.
Amazing creatures that want to kill you.
They don't want to kill you, Mike.
They do. Like, they literally want to kill you. They're like, if you touch me, you die, because I don't want to be touched.
I mean, Crocodile Hunter, he got yeeted from everything because of a stingray.
From the freaking ocean. If he was on Lake Michigan, he would have been fine.
He would have been fine.
Just saying. Hashtag Lake Michigan.
Of course, there aren't any stingrays for him to go after in Lake Michigan,
but
Great
thing is, here's Ben
times.
advocating for the ocean because he wants the crocodile hunter to die.
Dude, Steve Irwin was like
absolute legend.
Is one of my heroes.
I was gonna wait for him to be like, Steve Irwin was like a father to me.
A digital one,
The thing about Ice Age though is that like the snow doesn't go away, like the ice doesn't go away.
It never gets.
It just stays and gets worse.
It's just cold every day.
So like there's no spring or summer to look forward to, or even like warm fluctuations really or anything. It's just like ice and snow.
Well, and
so deal with it.
Getting into like society, as a whole,
we live in a society. Mike.
We live in a society. We live in a society. Speaking of which, we'll come back to that statement in a little bit here. But the idea even that we're so like hung up on infrastructure. I mean, we're watching what's happening in Texas because of an ice age.
Yeah.
It's not an ice age. It's literally just really, really unfortunate inclement weather.
Yeah.
But like, what's that going to do to us long term? I mean, some people can survive it. If you're living in Alaska, there's probably no real major difference. Like how much colder is going to get up there. But if you live in places, like Florida, you live in places like, South America, where you're right by the equator, what do?
Well, a lot of those like southern states are states that we rely on for like vegetables and stuff during the winter time too and stuff. And so
have to plant potatoes.
Like if they go under too with like winter or whatever too, then it's kind of like, oh well, that kind of fricks us all then.
And that's why we all need to watch that episode from Down to Earth with Zac Efron where they talk about the potato bunkers. Literally the bunkers where they have like the potatoes and fish.
Ben, I can't believe you brought that up again.
So good.
I wish I was a millionaire.
It's a great show.
Travel the world.
It really is a great show.
I wish I was a millionaire. I could just travel the world and talk about stuff.
Talk about potatoes.
Some life debilitating disease that almost kills me and recover because I have millions of dollars to put towards healthcare.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Wow, no, I got a killer disease that most people don't survive from. Good thing I have, first world health access, millions of dollars to protect me. And other people in that country that get that stuff and just die, they're all like, "Oh, okay."
Hey,
yeah.
They're like, "Bro, you're gonna die." He's like, "Don't worry, I'll get helicoptered
I've got
out of
it.
here.
I've got it, man. I'm
about
we
to
got it
get
under control.
right out of here. Don't worry about me.
It's like it's all handled.
But first take a clip of me pretend like I'm about to die here, and then we'll throw that in there.
Make sure you watch that. Let them know how dangerous it really could have been.
Dude, but literally though, and I mean, we've all seen stuff like that, and it's just like,
seen stuff like what?
Like exactly what you were mentioning, like someone like on camera.
Were you trying,
like,
were you trying to dunk on?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm about to die.
Were you trying to dunk on, Ben?
So it's almost over.
Are you trying?
I don't know if I'm gonna make it out of here.
You trying to come after Bear Grylls?
Don't know if I'm gonna alive.
Oh, Bear Grylls is cringe, man.
Dude, I can't stand Bear Grylls.
Dude, Bear Grylls survived in the.
Yeah, he definitely did.
With his dozen medics and you know
His
camera
entire
crew and.
Well,
to be fair, okay. To be fair, there's quite a few things that in places he goes where you can't bring like an entire staff. He really would just have one guy with a camera.
it's true.
That is a fact.
I do want to point out
Absolute
something though.
Fact.
I wonder like how applicable some of his stuff that he tells people is, because that would to me be the test. Because one time in an interview, somebody asked him about that. They're like, "You have like a crew," and he's like, "Well, yeah. How good would the show be if I just died?" He's just trying to show him how to survive. Something bad happens and he just dies, and then they're just like, "Okay, I guess we're out of a show."
Well, I guess he wasn't good at surviving. We'll take your advice from him.
He just gets bitten by like a cobra or something,
and then just dies. Yeah, and we're just like, then we would just not have that show, and then we'd all be like, "Oh, okay."
So
Yeah.
Eaten by a lion. The end.
Yeah. He just gets attacked by some wild animal and dies on the show. And then we'd all watch it like for 1 week. We'd be like, wow, that's crazy. And then the next week would be like, so who's the next guy?
Now, the next thing that would happen is a news article would come out saying Bear Grylls dies after deadly cobra attack when no one was there to save him.
Yeah.
So
Where were you going with that, Ben?
that's exactly where I was going. Beginning.
I thought you had like this really sweet joke build up. I was like actually kind of pumped.
Yeah.
You're just like, Bear Grylls dies.
Yeah.
Oh
Now
man.
I'm just sad, man. Now I'm just sad. Real feels.
That's unfortunate.
Speaking of the fact that we live in a society.
Yes.
Yes.
Because we do live in a society. You know who else knows we live in a society?
Oh, my boy
Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah.
The Snyder.
Jared.
It's not even the Snyder cut anymore. No, we've upgraded, boys. No longer Snyder cut. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Boom.
Pretty. Yeah, it's pretty sick.
4 hours of pure bliss.
Yeah, dude, I watched that trailer way more times than I probably should have.
Nope. There's no limit to how many times you can watch that.
Oh, so good.
It's never too much.
It's so good.
Zaddy's back.
Josiah, how many times have you watched the trailer?
Okay, first off, I just want you don't have the right to call him Zaddy.
I mean,
hey, look, no. Here's my thing, okay?
Oh, okay, here we go.
Here's my thing.
All right.
I'm not a big fan of Zack Snyder's whole DC thing. Batman v Superman. Actually, I like Man of Steel. I can't even say that Justice League is Zack Snyder's movie, the version that we got in theaters, because it's pretty much Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
And it was trash. Batman v Superman was trash.
No,
Man of Steel was Man of Steel. Man of Steel is great. I like Man of Steel is
great, but
Man of Steel,
Batman
I like Man of Steel. I like 300. I like Sucker Punch. I like a lot of Zack Snyder's movies. I really do. And I like Zack Snyder as a person. I like Zack Snyder as a person even more than I like his movies, actually. I have a lot of respect for him. There are very few people in Hollywood that I have more respect for than Zack Snyder.
Dude,
but you have to wonder something.
So yes, I can call him Zaddy, Ben.
Wow, yeah. Wow, Josiah came to see. That's how you set it up.
You know what?
He came right back on it.
You gave
I just want to point something out, Josiah. Okay, listen.
Yeah.
You just listed a bunch of his movies.
Yeah.
You liked all of them.
Uh-huh.
And yet, for some reason, you didn't like Batman vs Superman. And yet
trash.
he released, he released a director's cut, and people that watched it said that it was much better because it's actually.
But Zack Snyder made the theatrical cut as well.
He did, but there was tampering on Warner Brothers' side.
Well,
they cut out a lot of very important stuff in the movie. But it's also that's a Warner Brothers.
But also, I just want to point out
that is a Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers has a
is it
problem
trash?
with that.
They really
is it trash, or is it maybe just not your style? Maybe it's just not your thing. Because I heard some people criticize how dour and like sad and dark it was, but I'm like, but so's Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just the aesthetic of the movie, but also it's a very like, even watching again, I just watched it the other day with my wife, and we because we watched that, and then we
Do you
watched
have a
Man of
wife?
Steel before.
Ben's not married.
Anyway.
I just want to start that lie now. Ben's not married. Every time he brings up his wife, we're like, oh
Wait, yeah,
Oh.
Don't tell Ben he's actually in an asylum right now.
Dude, am I in Arkham?
My wife. I have a wife. I'm married.
Is Batman about to come break through this door right now?
Why would he break through the door in Arkham?
No, actually though,
I don't think you know anything about Batman.
Watching it again. All right, let me finish my thought here.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Watching it again.
Yeah.
I really do think that the writing of this movie
of Justice
excellent.
League?
No, Batman v Superman.
Oh,
not Justice. So we don't talk about that here. Is excellent.
Okay.
You know, and you know, I know Mike would argue that the third act is weak compared to the rest of the movie. I don't necessarily think so.
No, it absolutely
I appreciate some of the things that
Martha!
No, not that part.
I personally
we'll get to that.
I actually personally love
Oh
that.
my gosh, Ben, come on. Come on.
No, the third act, when I'm talking about the third act, I mean the whole part with
Are you talking Doomsday fight? The Doomsday fight?
Because Doomsday
fight was terrible. Oh my gosh.
Doomsday is legitimately like a Thanos level fight.
Yeah.
But in Zack Snyder's defense, because I do want to point this out, in an interview, somebody asked him about that, and he said that is not the original Darkseid. Like, you actually watch the movie, it explains that, like, there's an original Darkseid, sorry. There's original Doomsday, and that this was like a precursor to Doomsday. And apparently he was going to use Doomsday in a later Justice League movie, and Warner Brothers was like, well, we need like a fight now.
No.
Josiah, you know what? This isn't even far-fetched. We've literally
really
watched this happen.
Yeah,
we watched it happen with Justice
true.
League.
That is true, and I think, we watched the Ultimate Edition, by the way. Which
this is the other thing too.
So good.
I just want to address this. You know, I haven't got to do this, and
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know we're going off the rails here, but the only thing I ever really hear from people that criticize Batman vs Superman, the only two things that I hear consistently across the board, they didn't like the Martha scene, and they didn't like Doomsday, and that's why the movie is trash. The whole movie is trash because of those two scenes.
No, that's not the only reason.
I've heard people say it's boring. I've heard people say that it's I mean, that was really the biggest criticism that I've heard, is that it's boring or it's slow or it's not interesting. But
I can't stand Lois Lane in the movie either. I think that she's just she's horrible. She's a horrible character.
First off, her name's not Lois, her name is Lois, and she's actually not that
Ben,
bad.
don't start with this, because you just talked about Batman breaking into Arkham Asylum, and he would never do that unless there was something bad going on. But if he put you there, he wouldn't come after you.
No, you'd
have to escape Arkham Asylum like the Joker did. Are you the Joker, Ben?
I can't say, but no,
Anyway, this isn't really supposed to be like a Batman v Superman debate.
It wasn't
podcast,
supposed to be,
but
you know what? Next week it's going to be. You know what? That's what we're doing next week.
I will say though, I should give it a chance, and I should watch the Ultimate Edition of Batman v Superman. But neither of you have really made any effort to make me watch it, and I'm not going to watch it by myself out of my own.
The pipes were frozen in my house.
Yeah,
I was under a plight. I was under a plight, and Ben.
I mean, we've literally had like years to watch this movie, but
no, that's not true.
We haven't, but okay.
You know, maybe I'm worried that you're going to watch it and tell me it's trash and break my heart in my own house.
Maybe.
And then I'm going to cry.
You might not be friends with me after that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to ruin our friendship.
Because if Josiah says it's trash, I'll just remember that his opinion's very wrong. And mine is right, and
this
really
is Ben saying his opinions.
I know. That's why listen. This is a hill I'm not happy to be on. But I have
Ben. Mike is so conflicted. Do I take Ben's side?
I mean, he technically. We both like the movie
because it's not even taking somebody else's side. It's just standing against Ben.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like you're fighting up a hill, and you're like, haha, and then you look over and. Oh no, he's here.
Okay.
Flailing his like whips and screaming obscenities about the Last of Us Part 2 being a masterpiece.
You know what?
If Ben was in some sort of like medieval battle, he'd be like some guy in tights with a bow and arrow for sure.
Yeah. or a
All
whip.
right, dude, accurate.
2 whips.
I'm not even gonna deny that. But also, you know what's amazing? You know what's amazing?
What's amazing?
It's amazing, Ben.
Even more amazing than Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Megatherium. Baby.
Nope, that was.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
We're gonna-
All right.
listen, no,
But
listen,
legit,
here,
like we
listen.
were already talking
That
about
was
South
a bad
America.
segue.
We were
No,
already,
no,
we were
no.
already talking
That
about
was
it.
a bad
Nope,
segue, Ben.
wasn't a segue.
Shame on you.
Wasn't even
Ben
bad.
doesn't
We're
even
trying-
care at this point. He's like, I'm gonna get Megatherium in here somehow. I don't even
like,
care.
Yeah, it's like being on a date
Megatherium.
with somebody and you can tell that it's going really badly, and then you still try to kiss them, like right after eating like garlic.
Right.
Dude,
And
no,
you're
it's
just
like
like, I thought we were feeling this.
it's like being no, it's
Come
like being
here.
on a,
Come here.
it's like being on a date with someone and it's going really bad, but then to save the date, you bring up the Megatherium and realize
I
that
thought
that's gonna fix
everything had been going very well, Ben, until you brought that Megatherium thing up. You
Your
literally
date will
just,
jump you on the spot, Ben, if you bring
Yeah,
up
you
Megatherium.
literally just like crashed through there. You stopped all the momentum we had for Batman versus Superman. We've been trying to talk to Josiah about this. It
So
was important.
Megatherium.
What did you know about this giant sloth?
Oh, it's a beautiful.
Did you hear about this giant sloth? It died in the Ice Age.
literally a
But
beautiful.
It died in the Ice Age because it
I-
couldn't survive.
I hate that I actually am going to be bringing this up.
No, don't do this.
Don't do it.
Ah, man, I hate this. But so just
Huh?
literally just like a couple months ago,
Huh?
there was a new sprawling 8-mile long canvas of Ice Age beasts discovered hidden in the Amazon rainforests.
Oh snap!
And it is really, really cool. And yes, there are some like images that look like it could be like a giant sloth or something on here as well.
What did I say?
And it
Man,
makes
you
me
just
sad.
told them not to talk
but-
about it.
Freaking legends. Right there.
No, that's not what they are. They died in the Ice
Legends.
Age, Ben.
No, they didn't.
Literally,
Mike.
yes, they
Okay,
did.
all
They
right.
were giant mammals, dude, and they died.
Yeah,
That's sad.
That was not during the Ice Age, though.
yeah. Then when they die, Ben.
All right. When was the last Ice Age?
I
Oh
don't
my
know,
gosh.
Ben. Like, don't
So
look it up.
Ben is now just Googling it frantically right now.
All right.
He's
all
like,
right.
Oh,
he's
oh,
like,
oh,
wait,
they died approximately 15,000 BC.
He's like, they didn't die in the Ice Age, and they're like, they died in the last Ice Age. He's like, well, I could find another site that doesn't say
All
that.
right. Well, you want to know something? Megatherium's extinction date was about 10,000 years ago.
Yikes. That's cringe, dude. Imagine that.
Mhm.
Oof. So he had like no reason to die out.
He just died.
Son
Wasn't it
just
even an
died.
ice age? He just
He just was like, I guess I just can't do it anymore, man.
I
Just
guess
gave
I'll
it up.
die.
Yeah.
Most cite the appearance of an expanding population of human hunters as the cause of its extinction.
Did you just blame Hispanics for killing
No.
your stupid sloth? So
Of an
now he's a racist.
An expanding population of human hunters?
Oh, okay. It sounded like you said
Hispanic
Hispanic.
population.
I was like, what did you just say?
No. Oh my.
It was the
goodness.
Mexicans that killed him.
First off, all right. First off, I don't think that the the Megatherium was definitely not even in Mexico. It was in South America.
Okay, whatever, Ben. Whatever.
Okay, man. Okay, man. Listen, either way,
You know?
the thing is, it had no reason to die. It was a giant mammal, and he just got yeeted.
It's like one of
Off
the
the
biggest
planet.
mammals ever, and it died.
He's
Dude, that's so sad. Though.
just like, I can't do it anymore, guys. I'm sorry. I just
So
don't
sad.
got it.
I mean, there's a squirrel here, and I just can't live up to this the squirrel
stupid
man.
Squirrel is better than me in every way. You guys all think you're better than me, don't you? And they're like, yes. And
Y'all have
Fine,
no,
I'll go kill myself.
y'all have no respect for my giant boy.
no, because he's dead.
But Ben, isn't it cool that your giant sloth is on some cave, or not even a cave? It's just like some rock wall, and
Dude, that's freaking sick. Where is it?
He probably just got beat
I
to
gotta
death
go
with
find it now.
rocks.
we should go check it out. That'd be
is it?
fun.
Yeah.
More photos have emerged from the massive rock art discovery in the Amazon, and they're amazing. See them here. Obviously, I can't show people on the podcast, but you can do just a Google search and just look up like Amazon Ice Age art discovery or something, and it should pop up and stuff.
You threw like 16 descriptions out there for how you find this thing. I'm gonna already forget. I have no idea how to find this thing on the internet anymore.
Okay, so it's in the northern part of the Colombian Amazon. So we need to go to Colombia to find it.
Nobody wants to go to Colombia, Ben. There's drug runners there.
But there's like so many weird looking animals and stuff on here that
Dude, Colombia is a fascinating place.
people probably don't even know what some of these different kinds of animals are that are on here too, which is just like such a cool thing to think about.
Yeah.
Well, Ben, you've been to South America, haven't you?
I have.
What did you do in South America, Ben?
I was visiting my wife.
Ben's not married.
I was up in the. I was in.
Now his story changed real quick. He's like, "Wait, well, what? I was actually."
No, when I was in South America, I was in Ecuador.
So you weren't even by your Pythagorean.
No, I was in the mountains. I was. All right, I was in the mountains by the equator.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, the art is pretty cool. Definitely go check it out if you want to.
He was like, what?
Yeah, I don't really care, to be honest.
Right, well, I got some cool stories, but okay.
Ben, we're saving that for next week. Every week is next week for Ben's stories. Like we got it. We don't have time to get to it today, Ben. We'll get it next week.
Yeah. So they've obtained more photographs of giant sloths, armadillos the size of a car, and countless other animals. Can you imagine an armadillo the size of a car?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I need that in my life.
See, that's what I'm more interested in is an armadillo the size of a car. Like,
that is pretty cool.
Would that armored plates be?
Yeah.
Be sick, dude.
Like that's amazing. Like you could literally, it's like a tank you could ride into battle or something, and
oh yeah,
it's nuts. So, dude, things used to be so crazy back then. It's just it's nuts. There's like this giant like Ben, what are you doing? There's like this giant millipede too that that grew up to like 8 or 9 feet long and stuff.
No, I can't do that.
And it wasn't just like a thin millipede either. It was like broad too.
No, I don't like that
broad. Dude,
millipede or
so
centipede?
Cool. Millipede.
Okay, well, that's a little less creepy because, like, dude, I'm gonna be honest, centipedes scare the crap out of me.
Dude, centipedes are terrifying.
Yeah, especially like so I already didn't like them, but in King Kong, the scene where like the giant.
Oh my gosh, dude! Oh,
dude, I can't do it. Like when they start crawling on people and stuff, and then like it's just dead silent, and people are just getting bit in half by these things. Can't do it.
That is the most terrifying scene in that entire movie. Yep. It is so terrifying, dude.
Like those things like sucking on people's skulls and stuff.
Yeah, King Kong.
Yeah, like I can even handle the things like sucking on people's skulls and all that. I was like, okay, this is creepy, but like I can handle this. But it was the ones where like the giant centipedes and stuff. I couldn't do it, dude. I just
the scene makes me angry in that movie.
What scene?
When Kong beats up on those poor T-Rexes.
It was an awesome scene. He like ripped one of their tongues out or something.
Really
it's
not,
like super
really
cool.
Not awesome.
It is awesome.
Why
did
you have to come in here and start talking crazy, Ben? Like,
say, man,
we were doing really good for a little while there.
Yeah.
Just you were talking about it, so I thought I'd throw in my 2 cents.
No, that's not. Nobody asked.
I really want to go see these cave paintings.
Well, no, you know what, Ben? I don't want to go see anything with you now.
I don't think it's even a cave. I think it's just like a rock wall or something somewhere.
Why do you have to be like that, Ben? We were excited, and you started ripping on King Kong. Those T-Rexes were trying to kill people. They got beat up by a giant ape.
Yeah, they're trying to kill the blonde chick. You know,
that's fine. She can die.
Well, wow, Ben.
I don't care about Kong's, fabricated romance. I don't care about that.
Ben, Kong is a giant mammal.
Kong doesn't deserve that.
Doing what giant mammals are supposed to do.
Yeah.
Win and survive.
Thirsting.
I mean, he got killed. He got killed because he fell off a building, but like.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he sucks.
No,
Godzilla
I mean, not as bad as
Hashtag Godzilla for life.
You know who didn't fall off a giant building?
Godzilla.
Stupid giant sloths. They just died.
No, dude. Remember, it's like
they just
rolled over and died.
It's like that giant. It's like that dinosaur who's got stuck in a mud pit.
We're like, I guess I'm just done.
I'll die.
I guess I'll die then. Just saying, man.
So this is some pretty interesting news that's kind of that just came out actually yesterday. So this is like a pretty breaking news about a new discovery. So Earth's magnetic field flipping linked to extinctions 42,000 years ago. So this is what they think might be kind of like some of the causes of what caused like Neanderthals to die out and stuff, apparently.
Okay.
So the most recent reversal of Earth's magnetic field may have been as recent as 42,000 years ago, according to a new analysis of fossilized tree rings. This flip of the magnetic poles would have been devastating, creating extreme weather and possibly leading to the extinction of large mammals and the Neanderthals. So then they kind of jump into kind of what backs that up with and stuff, but yeah, so apparently that was something that happened that they think might have even like caused like some of the ice age stuff that went down and stuff like that too.
Well, dang.
So yeah.
Oh snap!
Dang.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. And they just discovered that.
Yeah, I mean it's just kind of like
they just started talking about it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's pretty. I mean that's nuts, and I mean. Yeah. What do you do? Sometimes I wonder because we're always trying to figure out, how to avoid the next extinction level event and all this stuff, and talking about going to Mars and all this stuff. But yet, I wonder, what if it's just inevitable?
Yeah.
What if there's nothing you can do? What if the Earth is just like, bro, I gotta hit the reset button occasionally? Like, how like when they tell you your router isn't acting right, and they're like, did you try plugging it in and plugging it in?
Yeah.
Turning it off and then plugging it back in or whatever. They're like, Earth is just like, bro, my router's getting a little full. We got.
Yeah.
I'm out. Peace.
I'm out.
See ya.
Got real cold for a second there.
Yeah. Sorry, I just
gotta freeze you for a second here, guys.
Yeah. Did you try turning it off and turning it back on again? And Earth is like, I did not think about that.
I'm gonna do that right now, though.
Yeah. Yep. Yeet.
Sick, and then everyone just dies.
Yep. Well, I mean, it doesn't make your giant sloth die. He just does it because he does it.
Your giant sloth's already dead, so there's not really any hope for him.
There may still be one out there.
There's not one out there, Ben. He died. He fell in a mud pit and died. He didn't even fall in a mud pit. It was just a dry pit. He just fell over and died.
I am done with this conversation.
Okay, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
actually, never mind. I already know the answer to this from Ben, but
oh no,
Mike,
I want to hear it.
Mike,
okay,
what is your favorite Ice Age animal?
So I want to say saber-toothed tiger because those things were legit, but honestly, I kind of got
kind of generic.
It's
Mike.
a little
That's
generic.
kind of cliched.
Honestly, I really, really dig woolly mammoths.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's just something like kind of legit about the whole thing, and the fact that maybe
they're iconic,
one day,
man.
They're iconic, but maybe one day we could see them again. So I don't know. There's kind of like that part of me that thinks it would be kind of legit. I don't know. So I just have a soft spot for an animal that died out in this ice age, and they kind of do, but we have evidence that they existed for sure.
Yeah.
And then maybe one day they'll be around again.
Yeah.
So this answer might surprise you.
Oh boy. Here we go.
But.
Okay. But
actually, giant ground sloth. However,
you like how I just guessed it before you even said it? Because you wanted to segue and catch us off guard.
Castroids are also pretty neat. Those are like giant beavers.
Asteroids?
Castroids.
Oh, castroids.
Hemorrhoids.
Yeah. Those are pretty cool too.
You need cream for that.
Yeah, they are pretty cool.
There's a cream.
They actually have a skull of one at a museum near me,
really?
And I've looked at it before. It's pretty
awesome.
Dope.
And dodos, I think dodos would also be kind of sick.
They didn't die during the Ice Age.
I mean, I don't know.
They're just kind of like
they got yeeted on because Australians are criminals.
They're just kind of like weird chickens.
They're not now. I mean, but
they're
they
like
were
dinosaur chickens.
Well, they were, and then Australians are like, we're gonna beat these things to death with rocks.
Dodos were like the evolution of chickens before they were chickens. So there's like
dodos and then were chickens.
Or dodos were like rejected chickens. They were like, we're not good enough to be chickens, and they're like, you know what? Go put them on the island with all the criminals.
Go start your own thing. And
yeah, you go beat dodos.
Go be dodos over there.
Yeah, that's two different species. Well, that's two different species that got wiped out by, living in Australia.
Yeah,
dodos and the freaking Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah.
Okay, I still think that's still out there.
You also think the giant sloth is out there?
Yeah. So what does it say about you?
I have hope.
To be honest, I am always hopeful that stuff like that's still out there too. Yeah, like that'd be sick.
We need to
I think the Loch Ness monster is out there.
All right, well, that's cryptozoology. That's a little bit different, but
hey.
Wow, Ben.
Wow.
Way to just completely dismiss somebody's hope.
Loch Ness Monster is
just rude.
absolutely a real animal.
Just
I
rude.
also think the Loch Ness Monster's out there.
Hold on a second, but
So.
like Ben, we need to address that. That was Josiah was like excited. I hope that the Loch Ness Monster exists, and Ben's like, that's cryptozoology. Let's not get into that. I mean, there's definitely evidence that some kind of a creature that's very similar to that existed at one point, but we can't prove that it lived in Loch Ness. So let's dismiss that and talk about this giant sloth that may or may not exist in South America.
Love me some Megatherium.
Dude,
I mean,
if the Loch Ness Monster is real, it is not just some cryptozoological thing. It's obviously going to be some animal.
Right. It would be if it existed. But we don't know it exists.
we don't know that your
Yeah.
sloth exists anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if I'm real.
You're probably not, Ben.
Ben, you're in an insane asylum.
Is
You're
this
just
an-
doing. You're literally
maybe, I'm
talking
just,
to a
maybe
wall.
this is just a simulation.
He drew a picture on a wall of a microphone and then a picture of like a stick figure woman. And he's like, "This is my wife." He's like, "Sorry, honey, I got to go do my podcast now."
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Whenever he
I'm
looks over there, it's because he's looking at her. He's like looking at the drawing of her on the wall.
Because I swear I'm married.
So that's gonna be probably it as far
Oh,
as
geez.
everything doing with that for this week. But we're gonna bring something a little bit new onto our podcast episodes here. We're gonna start doing a thing called Weekly Recommends, where each of us recommend something that we have been enjoying or reading, whatever, watching and listening, whatever it could be, anything, but something that we're going to recommend to you, our listeners, to check out. So Ben, take it away.
Oh, me? Well, dang. Shoot. All right.
Doesn't have to be anything new. Could just be,
No, I was gonna say this was on my mind recently. So if you haven't seen it, I know it's an criminally underseen movie. It didn't perform well. The score is beautiful. Watch Blade Runner 2049. Do yourself a favor, especially if you really like existential questions about humanity and life and what makes us human. It's just good stuff. It's good stuff. And it'll always be good.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Ben.
So watch
Thanks,
Blade Runner 2049.
Thanks, Ben.
It's a great movie. One of my
Great.
favorites,
Great movie.
for sure.
Great. It is actually legitimate. Denis
Yeah.
Villeneuve is like one of the greatest working directors of our time.
Dude.
Yes.
Right now, anyways.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely, and I think his name will further concrete itself in that category with Dune. So
Yep. For sure.
Thanks, Ben. Thank
Mike?
you. It's a good recommendation, Ben.
What do you have for recommendations?
So I have two recommendations.
Oh, already breaking the rules. Oh my.
all right, well someone's got.
Well,
to,
you didn't establish rules. You just said, no,
Weekly
two things
recommends.
I've been thinking a lot about. But
Oh boy. Okay.
one popped up in this podcast. If you have not checked it out yet, go check out Mortal Kombat Legacy. I think there's 2 seasons of it. It was on Machinima. You'll probably just find it scattered throughout YouTube, though.
YouTube.
Specifically, the episodes about Scorpion and Sub-Zero and the episode about Raiden are by far like some of the best of that whole genre. It was super awesome to watch. Really enjoyed it. After that, yeah, I've actually been thinking and been like kind of getting a little like nostalgic for the Dark Knight trilogy. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people have seen it. I know it's really easy, but it's one of those things like I didn't really like the Dark Knight Rises, but recently I've been like reading more about it and like been wanting to watch it again and stuff, and I'm realizing that movie's a lot better than I realized. So yeah, if you're just feeling nostalgic, you guys want to find something to like watch that's like good, solid thing, go sit down and like have a Dark Knight Rises or Dark Knight trilogy rewatch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't watched those movies in a long time. So
Yeah.
Me either, dude. I think
They-
it's been
I
since,
think
like
some
Dark
of them
Knight
get
Rises came
better.
out.
I think Batman Begins gets better with age, and The Dark Knight is, well, I mean, it's, one of the best movies out there.
yeah.
Definitely the best
Nice.
superhero movie, one of the best superhero movies ever made. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously Watchmen is number 1 in that category.
Oh my.
No, not even a question, Ben.
Watchmen-
Watchmen is legitimately a
I was gonna
masterpiece.
say Watchmen is absolutely very, very good.
Like, it's not even a question. It's not even a controversial masterpiece. Watchmen is a masterpiece. Josiah, if you don't think that, then you haven't watched. You haven't watched Watchmen.
Watchmen's terrible.
No,
It's
it is
really
not.
not. It's really not.
literally not. The Watchmen is literally
Alright.
a masterpiece.
Well, this is the argument we got on here to have. Josiah, what is your recommendation for the week?
My recommendation for the week. I actually, it's been a couple weeks since I've finished this, but everyone should go check out Raised by Wolves over on HBO Max.
Here we go.
It is a great show. I've been watching a lot of HBO Max's like their little like one-off miniseries and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they have I just watched what was it? The Undoing the other day. And Flight Attendant was another one that I watched. Flight Attendant was pretty good too. But Raised by Wolves is probably one of the best things that HBO has made so far as like their sci-fi fantasy type of stuff goes.
Original content.
Yeah, it's really, really well done. And
awesome.
If you are a fan of anything that has to do with like sci-fi type of stuff, it kind of had like, in some ways it kind of had like Prometheus type vibes, but it wasn't like cringy in a lot of ways like Prometheus was and stuff. And
gotcha.
So it's really good. It's really well done, and I highly recommend going to check out Raised by Wolves. So
nice.
With that being said, there you go, everyone. There's your recommendations for the week. Go check that stuff out. A lot of sci-fi type stuff and everything else, but you know that's what we are around here, I guess. You know,
we love it, man.
So that being said, thank you so much, everyone, and we will catch you all next week. Make sure you subscribe, leave a review, all that good stuff, and we will talk to you later. Bye.
Daddy Mouse will
Bye.
take us to Mars.
Yes.
Oh my God.